Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It's a video that I really care to do with my webcam on, and I really am excited for this new period of content creation. Like the new Jane Tome really motivated me, and like there are some things that are interesting for, especially for my community who paid attention for representation and inclusivity, especially in a period where society, unfortunately, not in all countries is so welcoming to us, and like I think that Dead by Daylight now more than ever can be important at offering a safe place for everyone. So let's try to say what is exciting me more about this tome. Like first of all, of course, it's a Jane tome, and like you know how much I love Jane and what she represents to me. But I have the feeling that maybe there is something more. Why do I say this? I know that I'm gonna have the usual people saying that maybe I'm seeing too much into it, that it means nothing, that like I know that it's gonna happen, and that all my theories are gonna get debunked for one reason or another. But I'm gonna still try to explain where I'm coming from for this. So I have the feeling that Dead by Daylight is kind of hinting at some kind of representation in the close future, and I have the feeling that it can be our trans representation. Like, maybe it's a coincidence that it's happening with a Jane Tom, but I also think that behavior, like after 8 years, know how Jane, through me or not through me, like I don't know, like got that Jane became an important character when it's about representation topic. Like even themselves shared our Jane content when we had the Trans Week of Awareness 2 years ago. So I'm really excited about the possibility of it, and like I really think that maybe for once, like there is seriously something cooking about the representation in Dead by Daylight. Why do I say this? Like this tome is really particular. Like first of all, it's a Jane tome. Like and Jane is a character who always stand for even by her lore, like for empathy, fighting for topics no one wants to fight for, that more often are about supporting each other, empathy, inclusivity, fighting racism and other forms of discrimination. But more importantly, like pushing for inclusivity. And that's not only that, like actually this Jane Tom introduces some outfits that have really interesting descriptions, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that there is possibly something more. Like the first description of the first piece of the Jane outfit is she asked the singer about how she approached her work, which began a thoughtful discussion about how to face criticism. Like this is cool, but it's not about the representation topic that we are going to speak about immediately. Jane listened to the singer speak passionately about how everyone should be true to themselves. Like, this is just a outfit description, you can say. I mean, like, it can mean anything, but like, it feels like kind of interesting how not only this is happening with Jane, but how it's happening in a tome where this kind of topic is really present not only in the Jane outfit description. The singer closed the show with her latest single. Jane stayed at the desk, deep in thought about how to be true to herself. Like, this is something that is really important because like when we pushed for trans content, like with the trans community, or like even during the last Trans Week of Awareness, that I know that even if we didn't have like a big push, like was seen and supported by developers even behind the scenes. Like I saw some donations, and I'm really thankful to the developers who actually chose to do it even on a personal level. Like it really shows where the art and the passion of the community actually of the community team and the developer team at least. So these two descriptions already like kinda make me think like there's a lot of push about being your true self. Like after the interview that Mathieu Cotet did with the King and Polyester about representation coming in 2025, more queer representation coming in 2025, and another interview that they had with an important outlet recently, both Mathieu and Dave Richards, the creative director of Dead by Daylight, about how they are working to put more representation in Dead by Daylight because they want to see more people see themselves in the game. Like, I think that they are hinting at something with this tome. I'm gonna keep going, and I invite you to thinking with me instead of immediately debunking the theory. Because, like, this was for Jane, and, like, Jane, I repeat, like, is a character that they know nowadays has been linked to the idea of representation and inclusivity for such a long time. But you have other characters who actually have this kind of description. Starting from the Yunjin outfit. Like, in the description of the pants, like, she ended the interview by saying that the song would resonate with anyone just trying to be themselves. And, like, we have the stress, again, about being themselves. Like, it can mean many things, but, like, I repeat, like, in a context of people asking for representation, like, I think this is really interesting, okay? We have to say lore-based, like the Yunjin outfit, differently from even the Jane outfit and other outfits that we are going to see soon. Where is Yunjin? Is actually a reference to the no spin. So there were people saying maybe it's a reference to Trickster, but like Trickster, if he was included, especially in such a tome that is about music, like Trickster would get a skin. Like he's popular, like he got skins really often. Imagine not taking the opportunity of giving a skin to Trickster in a tome like this. So it's a reference to no spin, but at the same time, like it's a common theme in this rift. Like, we saw Jane, who is the titular of the tome. We saw Yunjin. Let's look at the other ones. Like, you have Jeff dressing up, wearing makeup gave him a new sense of power. Like, wrote like this, like, it kind of feels like a bit like a reference to going drag, you know? Like, it's that feeling that is shared by some drag artists when they are interviewed about why they may do drag. And like, I find it really interesting that they put it in this way, even if in a different context for Jeff here. Heavy cover of Tortured Souls, it really felt like a part of the band. The tour manager told him to see the makeup artist everyone in the road crew had to look like a member of the band. Talita and Renato don't really have a reference to this kind of lore, but then we add another character who had this kind of reference, if I know wrong. I don't think it was Julie. That guy on her own. If her friends hadn't been with her, she could have been killed at the war. You also have this that, like, it's really interesting. Like, you have a crowd dressed as the new Jane skin. Even the birds want to look nice sometimes. Like, there is a lot of drag references in this tome. Like, I'm not the first one saying it. There are other people saying it. So, people think that this is the Crow basically going drag. And again, it's really interesting that they chose to do it with Jane. After that, she was the icon of our community for such a long time. There is another thing that I noticed and I thought was really important in this tome. I think it was maybe... Here you go. Like, David understood the song message about struggling to find yourself. His biggest hit, Torturous Souls. Like, Torturous Souls feels like it's a song that actually resonated with many of the characters here. Some people think that this singer is like, we don't know even the gender of this singer. Like, they paid really attention to this thing. Like, there is no pronoun to this singer, so I really think that the representation can come with this singer that they keep teasing here. And like all the food, like, this is really important because like, consider that David is our only queer representation with Susie right now, and Susie is here. Even if it's a Julie skin, like, Susie is another queer representation that is part of this tome. Like, they are canonically queer representation. David is gay and Susie is a lesbian. And it's really important, this thing, because all the footage of the singer posing and dancing on stage brought back long forgotten memories of David's childhood. Like, it can mean that it's the way of how he found the strength of coming out. Because, like, if you remember the Tome of David, like, it was about his young love as a gay man. And, like, I find that here, like, even more than Jane, like, you know, of course, like, with Jane, I have my personal thing. Like, I don't know if Jane is going to be the representation or not. I find it interesting that if I'm cooking here, like, they chose to do it with a Tome that has Jane as an icon. Like, I think that it can be a sort of a compromise between how the community always looked at Jane as a queer icon, and not only me. Like, there are many content creator, trans, non-binary, gay, like, every part of the LGBTQ community. Like, there are many who actually found comfort in Jane, and so here a sort of person who at least can be a voice for the queer community, even if not everyone at canon here are trans, like, we, or queer, like, they found comfort in her. But even more than with Jane, like, David here is really meaningful in this, because you have this, he had this, seeing all the concert footage as an adult took on a new meaning. He understood now what he found so appealing about this singer, and the documentary he ended with his biggest hit, Torturous Soul. Listening to it now, David understood the song message about struggling to find yourself. Yeah, like, I think that, like, I think that is, like, is not referred to the singer, but to the documentary. Because, like, everything else, like, we didn't have pronouns for the singer, as we said. And, like, there is, again, like, the reference to finding yourself and being yourself. Like, it's interesting that they did it with a queer character, speaking of childhood as well. So, I don't know if Jane is a reference to this as well. Then we have also, like, this banner that says, what do you see in the reflection? And, like, the mirror topic is, like, a really important topic for the queer community, especially for the trans community. Like, it's really common to see the topic of the mirror, like, even in many products, like shows and stuff, like, about trans people. Like, you have usually the scene about the mirror. Like, the mirror is always like the icon and the symbol of finding your identity and what you see about yourself through the mirror. And, like, I think that in consideration with everything that is a tome about your own identity and stressing this, like, it can be something important to this. And I repeat, like, Jane aside, and like, I already consider Jane important about this, like, it's important also because, like, they speak of the childhood of a queer character who had to come out and be themselves. Like, this is a really, I think, the key detail of this. You're gonna say, like, maybe they don't mean that. Or they mean that for David, but not for the other ones. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, we are gonna discover everything once it's gonna be about time. But invite you thinking about a thing. Like, it's not the first time that behavior actually teases future future content by putting stuff in a rift. Okay? And this is really important in my opinion, because, like, you have to remember that okay, I wasn't trying to reach any game. Like, you have to remember that, for example, Chucky, one of the current killers in the game, is considered kinda anticipated by one of the older tomes, where we had a lot of charms related to toys. And even a skin, like, the Dredge skin was literally a toy thing, and, like, then you had a lot of toys in that rift before Chucky release. Like, a lot of people think that actually, in that moment, they were teasing the Chucky release. Now, I don't know if I can find all the toys of that rift here. Like, but you can see how Forgotten Toys was, like, basically the main theme of that rift. Like, many are like, okay, they were teasing Chucky, basically. You can say, no, but it was a coincidence. I don't know. Also, this Reign of Kaiju board game. Like, I found it really interesting because if you think about it, we got a board game chapter after that this was a charm in a previous tome, and it was Dungeons and Dragons. So I think that they kinda play around the teasing stuff for the future, you know? Especially in original tomes. But the key thing that makes me think that maybe we are not, like, too far from the truth in this scenario is this, like, they teased already a character in the future through another character of the tome. And it was Sable. She met her best friend at the cinema for Matinee Thursday and an afternoon of classic horror movies. Like, when this collection was released, like, no one thought about it could be a possible future chapter, because, like, it was like an original precedent. Like, teasing for Chucky through toys could be easier because, like, Chucky is a license. But here they teased not only Sable, because, like, this is speaking of Sable, and this outfit was released before Sable was even, like, in the mind of the community. Now she's one of the most popular survivors and everything, like, we know it. But, like, in the lore of Sable is spoken about how she has a passion for these movies, and she went to cinema with Michaela to watch these movies. Like, this is a direct reference to Sable. Like, I think that there are other references in the other pieces of the outfit. No, only in the main description, actually. That she met her best friend at the cinema. And, like, if you think about it, like, this was definitely 100% teasing Sable. And then, at the same time, you had the Dwight cinema outfit, and you think about it, like they were teasing also the green wheel map. So it's not the first time that they are using a Tome. Eventually, of course, like we are sharing theories here to introduce a future chapter, you know? So my theory here is you know, like I dream of Jane as a representation, but like that's a personal thing. Like I don't want to make a personal thing a general thing. If it happens, like I think I cry for a whole month. But if it doesn't happen, like I already know it. Like I don't expect it happening. Even if like already this Tome like is amazing for me, like for lore and everything. For the queer Burbo dressed as Jane, like it says a lot about how Jane is important in this kind of topic. But like, if you think about it, like I have the feeling that maybe the singer of this song, or someone close to this singer or whatever, because in some moments it looks like a band, in other moments like a single singer, can be maybe something like, you know, that by daylight is a multiverse. Like it can be a singer, a singular singer in one dimension, multiple singer in another dimension. Like we don't know, but like that this thing is about so much about resonating about you being yourself and pushing to be yourself. Like I think that if they are going to that direction, they are doing it right. Like I think that if that's the case, they are doing it right. And like I repeat, like it's not the first time they eventually are teasing a future chapter, because like you can see that, and then often there were heated discussions with Michaela about the horror movies they catch the only theater in Greenville. Like Michaela outfit was already teasing Sable, and the Dwight outfit, the cinema one, being in that same Tome, like was kind of anticipating the theme of the map that were going to have. So like I don't know, like we are just speaking here, but like they already teased the future content with previous Tomes. Like sometimes licensed content with toys, like in the case of Chucky, the board game in the case of Dungeons and Dragons, and in other cases, like with Sable, with the Mikkel outfit. I don't know, like share your ideas. Like I know that May will not think too much into it. You know how much instead I care about lore, and I think that we are cooking here. Like Agatha Christie used to say, one clue is just a coincidence, two clues are no, two clues. Wait. It was one coincidence is a coincidence, two coincidences are two coincidences, three coincidences are already a clue. And I think that here we had even more than three coincidences, like it's not something new to behavior. I think that also with time, like if you see something working, because like the thing that Sable was kind of anticipated by Tome, and Rift, maybe by the Rift outfit, or other stuff and characters were kind of teased by previous Tomes. I think that it's something that behavior show that we enjoy to do. Like they see our discussions and theories about lore, and like I think that at the end of the day, it's what makes their original lore stronger. Like the teasing, so that in this way, like you are growing passionate about something even before you know them. And I think that they are doing it now. Like I feel like this singer can potentially be a future character of a future chapter, and being queer representation. Maybe the trans representation that we looked for in such a long time. Or maybe they are teasing that one of the characters of this Rift are queer representation themselves. Like more people are seeing this into Jane. I don't hold my hopes too high in that case, but like I repeat, I don't care of personally having Jane as queer representation. Like Jane and their importance for me will always stay. It doesn't matter if she's gonna be the canon trans representation. It will ever get the canon trans representation. If another new character is gonna be canon trans representation, like the importance of Jane in my life and what she does, like, will keep inspiring me. But like, I would like to have a canon trans representation because I think that it's important to have a character that represents that. Like, if they are teasing for that with this, like, it's amazing. If they are not, like, maybe a bit of a missed opportunity, but I think that behavior is smart. Like, maybe they're using this to catch our interest for the topic. Maybe not. But, like, I think that we are cooking here. I think that it's a personal feeling. I feel like that this is hinting at something. And, like, I want to see what the future is gonna hold for us, especially after the interviews of Kote with King and Polyester and with David Richard too. An important outlet that in this moment I don't remember the name. I think it was Vogue, but I can be wrong. So, or Variety. It was one of these two. I remember that it was at the beginning, but like, they spoke of how more representation was going to arrive during this year in Dead by Daylight. I think that I repeat, one coincidence is a coincidence, two coincidences are two coincidences, three coincidences are a clue. Like, two interviews about queer representation confirmed for this year, a Tome wall of be yourself, they found the boldness of being yourself, a queer character who says like, they could reflect about their past as a queer person. They don't speak of as a queer person, but we know past of David. Like, if you go to look into their Tome, like, you see the love relationship when they were younger and basically their personal coming out. I spoke a lot. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of video, like theories about the lore, like, and what do you expect to see in the future. Like, if you think that this singer can be a character representation or not in the close future, considering all this hinting to them. And I repeat, like, there were people who say that maybe the singer is Kate, maybe the singer is Trickster. First of all, I don't think that Trickster would be a perfect example for this, like, a perfect inspiration for this. But, like, I repeat, like, Kate and Trickster are really popular, like, not making an outfit for this rift, especially after all many outfits they made for this rift. Like, not considering them, especially as singer characters, I think that says something. I think that maybe a new singer is gonna arrive in town. Also because, like, they know how much successful was the teasing of All Kill and everything, so they really like this working around the pop scene, pop rockstar scene. Also, they worked with Iron Maiden recently, with the Slipknot, like, they are really working about the power of music. I think that in behavior they love music. I mean, Dave Richard plays music themselves. And they are also really talented at that, like, let me add it. Let me know. Like, I tried to connect the dots, maybe I'm on something, maybe I'm not. Like, I spoke a lot, and I do it because I love speaking of this. I'm gonna keep doing it during the next months when we are gonna have more lore from the tomes. And maybe some teaser for the next chapters, like, who knows. Thank you so much for watching this video. Love you so much. Like, I'm live basically from Tuesday to Saturday, sometimes to Friday. Like, I announce it usually on Friday if I go live on Saturday. This week till Saturday, starting 3 PM CET. Love you!